I moved 2 years ago from Germany to Nairobi in Kenya, and ever since I've been spending my time here. But I just came back from a 6-week vacation over Christmas, over New Year's, and a couple of weeks later just to spend time with my family in Germany and be present with them and spend some time overall in the country to get another new perspective with like my now African or Kenyan glasses that I've been wearing for the last 2 years. And now in today's video I want to share with you what I've realized, what I really appreciate about Germany, and what I really don't like anymore about the country, the culture, and also most importantly in which country I personally prefer to live in. So stay tuned, watch the video until the end to find this out. But now let's dive right into the topic and let me tell you what I really appreciate about Germany. So first off, I have to tell you that I grew up in Germany, even if I have also my roots in Eritrea. So I'm Eritrean and German, and I was born and raised in this country. And I really appreciate the country because, let's say, first off, my whole family is there, my whole African side, or most of the close family of my African side is also living in Germany. It's a country that helped me to get at least my education right. It's a country at least that helped me to get a perspective of the Western world and of what is possible, what efficiency means, what being on time means, what just taking care of your things properly means. So if I now can give you a couple of examples that you understand the perspective I have of like now on with my Kenyan glasses, going back to Germany for a couple of weeks, it's like what took a long time to adjust here in Kenya is first of the time management. So people here are most of the time are quite late. If it's just a casual meeting with a friend or something, it can be that they're like 30 minutes, an hour, or even much later. Even if you call them at 8 p.m, if you arrange a meeting at 8 p.m, it can be the case that they just start leaving the house or just getting ready. So I really appreciate this fact that always in Germany people are, if you make an appointment for 8, people are waiting there at like 7:50 already. If you make an appointment for 2 p.m, they're waiting there at 1:45 already. So they're always ahead of time and always respecting the other people's time too. And this is something I really came to appreciate when I was there. Now I started to understand. I had an appointment where I had to get and pick up some legal documents, and I had this appointment, I think it was at 2 p.m, and I think at exactly I was there at like 1:58 or something, and at exactly 2 p.m. they let me into the office and we could sort everything out within a couple of minutes, and I didn't have to waste a lot of time just going through a difficult process. What sometimes is here in Canada the case whenever I need it. It's been a long time since I had to do this, like for my residency documents or my identity card and stuff like this. There was always a long process that was involved in it, and it took unnecessarily long to get stuff done here. So it's always like that someone doesn't know what to do with the documents. They asking me about like more and more things what are not necessary because I could provide them what they wanted from me, but it still takes minimum 20-30 minutes to sort something out that could have been done in just a couple of minutes. And if there's something else that I came to appreciate now, is that Germany is a very, very efficient country. And what I mean by this is like everything is done very, very quickly. It's like you go grocery shopping, I think one cashier in Germany can take care of the work of like, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 cashiers in Kenya, for instance, because they're very efficient. They don't talk much, they're just moving the goods over the counter. And the same happens for waiters, for instance. So like you get into the place, you get served immediately, they will not forget anything, so they just handle the things very properly, very efficient, and in the end you don't need to waste another like 30 minutes or something to wait for a bill or something. That happens quite a few times here in Kenya to me, where I was ordering the bill and then they came after like 15 minutes and then they forgot something, they need to change something, and then they make me get up to come to the cashier, to the register, and pay it up there. So in the end I wasted like 20 to 30 minutes just waiting for the bill. And so sometimes it can be quite nice if things are just running smoothly. You don't have to worry about it, or you don't have to look all the time out for things like this. But also this could be that I'm just way too used to like the German way of doing things, because I'm used to like getting things done very quickly, of like things being taken care of right away, and not just like in like 10, 20, 15 or whatever minutes. that feels like a waste of time for me sometimes. But also, as I said, it can be just that my mentality is also still very much in this mind, so I appreciated this quite a lot. Another thing that I also came to appreciate, and even if this is like a bit shaking right now, is like the rule of law and the structure implemented in just doing things. So for instance, whenever you need a passport or something, there's a clear structure laid out what you need to do. If you need to register your business there's a clear structure of what you need to do and what documents you need. If you need whatever it is, any kind of other thing that is anything to do with the official, the government, or like any kind of bureaucracy, there's most of the time a clear process of how things are being done. So you don't need to ask 100 people, you don't need to figure it out too much, you just check it online and you can just go through this process step by step and things will be done for sure. Even if I got used to the Kenyan way of doing things, sometimes it still can be a bit annoying if you don't really know what kind of process you have to walk through, because it's like even sometimes the lawyers, they tell me that they have to double check on how to do things because it's just a new regulation that came in, because it's like they'd never had to handle this case or whatever, because they also don't know, and the processes change all the time and everybody does the things a bit differently. It makes it a bit difficult sometimes because now you need to, I don't know, hire someone, you need to pay someone to get things done for you, or like you need to keep on trying and figuring it out, talking to a bunch of people to just make sure that the things you need to get done are working properly. And of course, a main thing I appreciate about living and life in Germany is having my family there. It's always, whenever, even if I moved abroad now, it's the second time that I moved abroad. I used to live in the States for a year, then I came back to Germany for a couple of, I think 2.5 or 3 years almost. Then I came to Kenya like 2 years ago, and the only reason why I keep coming back, I would say, for me personally, is my family. I want to visit them, I need to spend some time with them. I have so many little brothers and cousins and just a big family over there, and this is one of the biggest reasons why I keep coming back to the country, you know. It's even if you have opportunities, but I think at this point you can find them anywhere and everywhere if you really want to and you're looking out for them. But I would say in the case that my family is there is what keeps bringing me back to the country. Otherwise, I think I would maybe go there once in every 5 years or something, even if it's just necessary to do it for me. But there are also a lot of things I really don't feel comfortable with anymore in the country, and I would say for once it's definitely the coldness of the people. So when I was spending my time there now, I'm used to being very friendly. I'm like saying good morning if I see like people on the street, or like just greeting people everywhere, or just like starting small conversations, just being nice basically. But in Germany sometimes it's very, very difficult. It's like, I don't know if it's about the environment, maybe it was also because I was there now in the winter time, what also doesn't make people feel the best way. So whenever I said good morning or like was greeting people on the streets that like live where I used to stay with my family, oftentimes they were not greeting me at all, or just like looking away. They're not really paying attention to me. I felt like I was doing something wrong just by greeting them. So it's hard to have conversations with strangers over there. Not all the time, but like, let's say it's quite common that people don't really interacted with me when I was just approaching them like on a very, very friendly basis. Of course, I had also different cases, but I would say in Kenya, the conversations I can have with a stranger here or like with people here, they are most of the time much warmer, most of the time more friendly, and people are also much more helpful as well. What gives you just a good feeling by being outside, by going into the nature. I feel like whatever you're doing and people are giving you a good energy, you can easily give this good energy back, and it just gives everyone a lift basically. And this is what I'm really missing in Germany. And it's also understandable because people have so much stuff to do and they're like really focused on getting their stuff done, going to work or whatever it is. But personally, I don't feel much comfortable anymore spending my time there outside of my family, and this is one of the reasons why I don't feel like this. And another reason why I don't feel like staying in Germany anymore, like what influenced my view on how I see life there in Germany, is first off, I feel like it's a little bit too stable, it's a little bit too predictable, and it's a little bit too straightforward with everything. It's like I feel like here, since I've been living in Kenya, I feel like every day can be like something new, can be like an adventure, can be like, I don't know, things can be change all the time. You can get a new opportunity tomorrow or today or the day after or something. But I feel like in Germany, whenever you do your work, you do your things, everything is quite linear. The people are linear. The decisions you make, you don't take too much risk. And let's say maybe it's also because the way I feel, let me take a lot of more risks and I feel more comfortable in like the Kenyan way of living by at this point. Maybe it's also not just the general Kenyan way, it's maybe the way I see life while being here in Kenya with like all the different people I meet every single day that are doing amazing things, that are doing like teaching me a lot of things every time I meet them. And I think just being in an environment like that is not that predictable and not that straightforward, it gives me a lot of more confidence and at this point also competence, because I learned so much from so many people in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, in terms of just information. I have so many insights about things happening all over the place that it helps me to just be a bit more confident in myself and let me take on also much more risks. And I think it's a little bit hard to live a life like where you know that you're going to do the thing for the next 20, 30, 40 years or something, at least from a very personal perspective that I have acquired over the last couple of years. Something else that might sound quite funny for some of you guys is that if you want to meet someone, it could be even your parents, can be your brother, can be your friends, can be whoever. So sometimes you need to call them a week in advance or maybe even 2 weeks in advance just to be sure that they are at home at this time and that they will receive you and like treat you like a guest at their place. What is very different for me here in Kenya, I have a lot of friends, I know a lot of people, and if I would call them right now or like they would call me right now and I have some spare time, I'm at home, whatever, we can just come and like stay at each other places and like just chat or whatever, you know, like help each other out with whatever stuff it is. And I think it's, even if I'm also like a person, I like my peace, I like to be alone, I like to do my things for myself, and like I also enjoy having some kind of company around and like just being a bit more spontaneous and open and like just being, I don't know, inviting people to your house. I don't understand why loneliness over there needs to be such a big factor in life, and that you really, I don't know, need to tell someone 2 weeks in advance if you're even home, and just to, I don't know, like give them a cup of water, give them a coffee or something, or like not even inviting your parents to your house is something that sounds very much ridiculous to me, you know. If they would be staying closer to my place, they could be here all the time, 24 hours, they can stay here. And this is something I really don't like about the German mentality, but I'm happy that my family is a bit different, because I'm also rooted in Eritrea, so we have a bit of a different connection. And also the German side of my family, I taught them a bit of a different way of living, you know, so it makes it a bit more easier. But this is something in general I see, and therefore I see a lot of loneliness over there. A lot of old people are getting brought into these elderly care homes where no one is taking care of them, like not the family is taking care of them, and maybe come once a month or like sometimes even every 6 months, or don't care at all. They just are looking out for the money in the end, what the parents will leave behind if they are not there anymore. And I think it's a very sad way of living, and that's something I really don't like about that's something I don't like in my perspective about the country anymore. I also need to mention what's one of the biggest factors. I mean, I can show you how it looks in Germany, like now in the winter time when I was there. It's cold, it's gray, it's raining, it's snowing, it's freezing. You need to like get the ice off of your car windows and everything just to see anything, and you're just freezing all the time in the winter time at least. And I don't like that kind of weather anymore. You know, I could survive this one because it was for 6 weeks only, and I knew I will be going back to the Kenyan summer anyways very soon, so it was for me somehow manageable. But I don't think that I would see myself living there for like the entire year, and just to, I don't know, experience 2 months of summer and then the rest of the year like bad weather or something. Because now, as you can see here in Kenya, the weather is beautiful. I came back and the sky is clear, it's blue, there are no clouds at all, it's like just sunny. Since I got here, it's not raining at all. You have fresh fruits here in the garden, so I feel like this gives me so much more energy. And I was so tired being in Germany sometimes when I woke up and it was dark and it was gray, and like even over the course of the day it was still staying gray the whole time. It was just for me very difficult to find energy to do work. and to do things and to get things done. And I feel very, very much different here. Since I got back here, I feel the sun is waking me up. I can, I don't know, get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and get things done. What was very, very difficult for me back home when I was spending my time in Germany. And I think this is also one of the biggest factors why people in Germany maybe are a bit more mad and like straightforward with things and like just minding their own business, because weather is not the best. It's been a long time since I spent the summer in Germany, so like I think it's like over 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now that I spent the summer in Germany. And from things I remember and I hear, it's like the energy is very different. People are much more open. People are just spending their time outside all the time. So I understand that weather also plays a very, very, very big role. And that's something I also came to understand, like that I think in warmer countries, people are also much warmer and like invite you to the places, invite you to the houses, have more conversations with each other than in colder places where people are just minding their own business and trying to get things done and just rush through the day to get it over until the sun is coming back in a couple of weeks or months. And now if I have to tell you a place where I prefer living, I think for me it's a quite easy choice. Because I think, of course, I miss my family a lot, and like, of course, family is very, very much important for me too. But if I see the way I just see myself in general, being here in Nairobi, spending my time here in Kenya, doing all these different activities I do here, I'm striving, I'm growing, I'm looking into different things I could do to have a big impact here on the ground and just to grow myself. I think I would never trade the stability in Germany with the freedom I have over here. I got a couple of offers. People were asking me if I don't want to stay here and like do this and this and this and that, but I don't see myself living there anymore at all. And I prefer living here in Kenya or an African country for sure, but right now I see myself 100% living here and staying here in Kenya, because it just gives me so much freedom. It gives me so much excitement getting up every day, having an impact on the country, and like finding my way through what I want to do here actually, and like building something meaningful on the ground and like having an impact on more lives in the long run, hopefully. So easy choice for me. I prefer the Kenyan weather, the Kenyan mentality, the people, the Kenyan energy, and it's 100 times more likely that I will stay here than going back to Germany. I'd rather try to bring all my family over to Kenya and make them stay here with me than me going back there. So thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you moved abroad, if you made a similar experience, and drop me down below in the comments where you're staying and what this experience did to you.